last week while I was out of town. And it's actually been 3 whole weeks since we were last recording together. A few major themes have actually stuck around in that time and have evolved a little bit since the last time we talked, but I'd just like to name these right off the bat. Very, very briefly, you've got 5 points. Trump's health is on the decline in full view of the world despite middling attempts to hide it. Trump's occupation of D.C. and the possible deployment in more cities threatens to potentially upturn the autonomy of the states and subjugate the populace under a military occupation that we were actually promised would happen under Obama. Trump's
because patriots will rise up to prevent any real tyranny.
Oh, of course, every time.
Yeah, they always will. That's why this isn't real tyranny. Otherwise, Second Amendment patriots would be doing something about it.
Right.
So
exactly.
we can put it to bed. It's
fine. Trump's big bullshit bill and tariffs are showing no signs of helping the job market or prices of both manufacturing and consumer goods. Trump's continued belligerence on the international stage is escalating with a possible war with Venezuela on the horizon. And
didn't have that one on my bingo card.
That said, Maduro is a socialist, so
true. It does kind of make sense in hindsight.
And despite all of this, though, they are still scrambling on Epstein and cannot get out from under it with any semblance of a victory or even a horrific defeat. They can't distract with any perceived victory and every obvious loss from the ongoing clusterfuck of the Epstein files. But Travis, I turn it over to you. I have been on vacation. Help me catch up.
I would be happy to, and I would love to say that they just get weirder with every turn. My boy Mikey J is pivoting so hard on this. He's like John Stockton in the paint down there, just pivoting around and around and around, throwing elbows and like, it's a conspiracy. No, the Democrats did it. No, it's a hoax. No, he's actually been deep cover the whole time. Like he said, who knows? Like, who knows what it's going to be tomorrow? But
if you'd like, I actually have a clip queued up for that. Would you like to? We can
fucking roll the footage.
Just fucking roll with the first.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right. Okay. All right, yeah, let's jump into Mike Johnson. So a little context, I think, for this clip. Earlier in this video from where we pick up, Johnson was claiming that he was urging Republicans to vote against the ongoing discharge position, which would force a vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which has bipartisan co-sponsorship. It was introduced by Ro Khanna, as I recall. And it is just a petition, basically. If it gets 218 signatures, and there's no time limit on this, then it will force a vote on this act. Mike Johnson has been whipping the Republicans to vote to not sign the petition and to potentially vote against this act, stating that the Oversight Committee's current investigation will be doing.
Oh more. Yeah, it's rigorous. It'll uncover anything out there.
And anything it does uncover is definitely not going to be redacted. I mean, definitely there weren't any redactions in the 33,000, I think, pages that were released.
No. It'll be full on transparency.
Yeah. But let's
the transparency they promised.
Let's give Mike Johnson a chance to unfuck this pig.
Yeah, take it away, Mike.
But Trump called it a hoax yesterday.
What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times.
It comes across as he's calling the whole thing a hoax.
It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. What he's talking about is the Democrats who are doing this with impure motives. If they cared so much about this, why didn't they do something during the 4 years of the Biden administration when the Biden DOJ had all the records? They didn't say a word about it. Now they're doing it for political purposes. Not everybody, but a lot of them, and that's what the president's frustrated about, and we all are, that they're creating a hoax just like they did with the Russian dossier because they think it's going to somehow be mud thrown on him. It's not. He has no culpability in this thing at all.
So, I mean, like, he didn't call it a hoax, but it is a hoax. But the part of it that's a hoax is the Democrats making a big deal about it. And Donald Trump also apparently was an FBI informant.
Yeah. It's honestly almost a masterful job of unfucking that pig. That's as close to making any of that make sense as is really possible. Like, kudos to him for being a wonderfully inscrutable piece of shit.
He really does, like, the depravity in their lies. I think the desperation
Yep.
in the positions that they end up taking, the chances, the risks that they're taking to try to remove, you know, any semblance of guilt from Trump, whether it's
Yeah.
direct abuse of children or just some sort of like financial complicity with Epstein in some way or whatever, or even that he might have gotten tricked by Epstein to, you know, for compromise or whatever. Like, they keep showing their hand every time. Like, they're literally showing that they're bluffing because these aren't actors. Like, they're
They know they understand that they control the media narrative of X percentage, which is enough to forge ahead without meeting a large scale enough resistance to stop what they're doing.
Mhm.
They own essentially the entirety of the major media apparatus in this country. And even what should be firewalls like universities and things like that, major law firms, what have you, that should be holding the line,
Mhm.
holding like cheap suits.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
it's we're losing cultural and societal protections as well. Like,
I okay. So I definitely don't disagree with the entirety of what you're saying, but to some extent, some of these people that are folding so easily under the an inkling of pressure from this bloviating jackass pedophile, it they are actually just revealing who they've been the whole time. It's just like when a major, like a
oh,
clothing
completely agree.
company,
Completely
when a
agree.
clothing company like will you know, celebrate Pride Month by releasing a line of jeans with a rainbow patch on it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just
Like,
pink washing their image or whatever.
right.
All it is 100% driven by dollar
Yeah,
bill stuff. Like,
these have always
yeah,
been
I'm
at
not
best
trying to
fair
give them
weather
any
friends.
like moral purity or motives
Mhm.
here whatsoever.
Mhm. No, for sure, that I'm definitely not suggesting. It's more of just like, it's worth noting that, you know, there's going to be some diehard, more principled group, whether those principles are rooted in like a deeply racist and fucked up perspective, like most of the people involved
Uh-huh.
in MAGA, that aren't just like full on like opportunists for grift. Um,
Yeah.
they're going to be they're going to be a group of people that are in that category of Republicans or of the ostensive right that are true believers that can't get swayed by
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then they do have a group of people that can be swayed, and the
Yeah.
same thing exists on the ostensive left, which I think we've always known is also one more fickle because of that, and also two smaller. Um,
True.
and
Well, and
it's
there
really
isn't generally that affinity amongst that population to latch onto a singular figure in that cult-like way. Like,
Mhm.
you can say that that's how people were about Obama or anyone else, but man, like, I was there, I was in that moment, I was part of that, and it was never ever like that. Like, people at that time, the most ardent of supporters of someone like Obama,
Mhm.
if something like this had come to light, even then, everybody would be jumping off that and being like, "Whoa, fucking no
Oh,
way."
I mean, the right
Like,
wing wouldn't have to
there
jump through all these hoops to, reintroduce the KKK or anything. The
yeah,
Democratic Party would have done it for them. Like,
yeah,
it would have
apparently,
been
right? Like, they're so fucking oh, Jesus.
like, it would
They
yeah,
just
you're
keep
absolutely
finding
right.
new ways to let us down.
Yeah,
It's awful.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree, there, like, um the thing is that for some reason that doesn't land on people that we actually need to um sort of persuade to at least be critical of their own positions. Anybody that's not even like a
Mhm.
diehard Trumper, but that's like, I don't know, I think he might be right on economic issues, we just got to suffer for a while or whatever the fuck. Like
Yeah,
that
it's
kind
just
of
a hard reboot, kinda thing. It's better in the long run.
right, like that kind of jackass won't think about with the Epstein files, won't think about it from the perspective of, wow, how much different would this have been if this had been Biden, if this had been Clinton? I mean,
Oh,
just look at
heavens no.
uh,
They
what
just as
we
people generally don't have that, disposition to look inward and examine their own motives and just, really have that sort of point of view.
well,
Uh,
like the we have an example of it happening to a Democrat in a time where I think like weirdo right wingers would say some of this kind of behavior was more acceptable in our society when, and to some degree would be right in that some people would like go out of the way more to normalize it and stuff. But um we have an example in the Democratic Party of a sitting president committing an act of coercive sexual assault, and we saw what happened to Clinton, and it was a considerably different situation because of, I mean, it's
yes.
not it just, no matter how you look at it, the situation is not comparable to a international pedophile ring. It just isn't.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's nowhere close. It is what it, and it's not to excuse what he did because his relationship with Monica was terribly predatory, and I don't think even anybody on the left now defends that action.
nobody, pretty
Like
much,
the just
yeah.
the yeah, you would be really really hard pressed to find anybody that doesn't look on that as a black eye on his presidency and the office
Mhm,
itself.
mhm.
Even amongst the most ardent Democrats or leftists, you just have to accept that reality.
But somehow Trump
So,
being potentially a part of the most heinous fucking thing you can imagine
not just a
is
part of, like, I think the takeaway from all of this broadly is that, I mean, they were partners, co-conspirators as much as anything.
Mhm, mhm,
Like,
mhm.
it's not a just weird coincidence that Trump also owned teenage pageants. Like,
Yeah,
it's not just a weird
it's not a
side thing.
coincidence.
It all
Yeah.
ties together, and it also ties perfectly together with owning these big resort golf club spa places that hire young girls to work in the spas and even be masseuses and really primed for that sort of activity. And he
Yeah,
even
you don't
says as much like That was probably what really started his falling out with Epstein, was he was stealing his people. Like, he wasn't getting his value on these girls that he was recruiting.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be fucking Alex Jones to put these puzzle pieces together. And
Yeah. Yeah.
like I'm curious, do you think Alex Acosta is somewhere just shitting his pants? Because
No,
he's probably got
he's the
all the answers
safest
to
guy in the
tackle one.
world right now. Like, he
Is he?
probably does have a ton of answers.
All of them.
I
I
don't
think
know.
Acosta probably potentially has all of them. He's the U.S. attorney
If
for
he's
Florida
smart,
Southern
he's got,
District, and oversaw that non-prosecution agreement with Epstein.
yes, all of that.
Like
He
close
knows
with
where
Trump.
so many of the bodies, literally and figuratively, are buried on
Yeah.
Trump specifically, and the whole Epstein. Like, yeah, that guy, if he has a any sense whatsoever, he's got so many dead man's hands switches protecting him, that taking him out in any way would be automatic death for any of them. Like,
Well,
instant, like, revelation of whatever blackmail compromise he does have. Like,
I think some of this could be seen as catastrophizing in a way to and like blowing this out of proportions. But I mean, if you're talking about having, a huge pedophile ring that involves possibly the collection of compromise and the exchange of millions and millions of dollars, um, there's and the sexual abuse of women and minors. There's no way that you can also like suggest that that happens without things like other forms of physical abuse and maybe even murder to maintain secrecy and a status quo that allows this kind
100%.
of subjugation to occur. Like the depths of the depravity here. I think we've seen just one head of the most hideous hydra.
A tiny point on this iceberg.
Hmm. Hmm.
And there's all the societal um, pressures to allow this to happen.
Hmm.
Like, it's also not a coincidence that in Republican-led states, there happen to be pushes to roll back ages of consent and marriage. Who are they serving with that fucking action? Jesus Christ, man! It is right there in your fucking face. Like,
It turns out that the people yelling that we should think about the children are really thinking about the
ring, ring,
children
ring, ring,
they
ring,
love.
ring. Hello, it's a call.
Yeah.
Uh, where, where could it be coming from? Christ Almighty!
Oh, it's the next room. Incredible.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
but in the house, unbelievable.
And one of the sickest things about all this shit too is Mike Johnson and Trump constantly hide behind the victims in their justification for not
Yeah,
releasing all of the evidence here, that they don't want people, never mind the fact
Trump's
that like
looking out for
the
these
this
poor girls. He's their
yeah,
biggest advocate. Yeah.
I, and Trump is famous for looking out for women. I mean,
Mhm.
how could you go wrong with an advocate like
He's
this?
famous for looking at women. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I
I
meant.
mean, looking out for it. Yeah.
Looking out for,
Looking
watching,
at it for, like,
watching for new women, uh,
yeah, yeah.
to add to the
To,
binders, I guess.
to look out for, to,
Holy shit, the
God
binders of women.
Almighty, some
Oh,
women.
oh my god,
Jesus.
that's where they
Romney
went.
was a
Oh my,
fucking oracle.
holy shit. We need
Did
Romney
we just,
back.
like, tear time and space right there or
He's
something?
the only man that
That's,
can save us.
yeah, yeah. It, man, but
We
it's
need
odd that we haven't seen him since he bent the knee to Trump way back at the beginning, his prior term. And, like, where is Mitt Romney? What is old Mittens up to? Where's he been?
I mean, it's been a
Where you at,
prime
Mittens?
environment for vulture capitalists.
Yeah,
So I assume that's where he went. I assume that's where he's been.
very, very good point. He's out there making more billions of dollars somewhere. But if he's smart, though, he's going to vulture capitalize on the power vacuum post Trump. And I think we're already seeing a lot of rats starting to sink off this or jump off this sinking ship, and people looking for exit strategies, which
Hmm.
I think is
Hmm.
Omar's strategy. And
Yeah,
then not to. I think she might also be genuine a little bit. It might be a confluence of factors. I'm not gonna doubt her that she might not genuinely have these feelings about these people. It is within her to also be a decent human being in some ways.
I think
So
that
I'm gonna give her that credit at least.
her deal is uh she has to draw the line in the sand on some form of sexual impropriety somewhere to take heat off of herself for
Indeed.
the considerably, I mean, the not
Which
illegal
it lines up perfectly. It lines up
act.
morally and practically for her to get out in front of this issue, and she can now be set up post this to have that moral high ground and be on the right side of history.
Yeah, I do think it's for her. It does seem sincerely to me, it does seem just nakedly opportunistic. I think she put in a bet earlier than other people, and she's willing to go all in on everything that she's ever done as far as this political game, and be as loud and belligerent and disruptive as possible on any
Well,
endeavor
yeah.
that she takes on. So it's not surprising to see, when she chose her side on this, that she's going all in.
Yeah,
And
being
it's
a
it,
lightning rod is her political DNA, for sure.
and it's not just her too. Thomas Massey, I think, is maybe the biggest name in that right now. He was the first Republican co-sponsor of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, for example, and
Mhm,
he's
mhm.
been very critical of the Trump administration's handling of this Epstein stuff, and has kind of
Good for him.
tried to position himself as like the true family values conservative that might actually exist. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's the one real one.
yeah, and it's hard to say again, like, well, really, and with any of these people, how sincere they are or they're not. And co-sponsoring this bill, I don't understand some of the people that are and are not co-sponsoring the Epstein Files Transparency Act, like Lauren Boebert
Yeah, yeah.
is a co-sponsor, I believe, and I don't know where
Yeah, yeah.
Bobert's
And I
at, or
think it's a matter
maybe
of political grievance with her more than anything, because
mhm.
this has also taken place with the negotiation about where Space Force is going to, or Space Command, whatever the fuck, moving
Yeah.
that to Bama instead of keeping it in Colorado. And not to say that Huntsville isn't the sensible place for it. It's actually an incredibly sensible place for it, but so is
Mhm.
with its location in Colorado. So
Mhm. Mhm.
moving it is definitely a political move, and I think she's like making hay because of that.
Right. Yeah. I could. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. An actual, which is funny because like one of my biggest gripes that I've been thinking about on the way home, actually on the ride home, I drove. It was 11-hour drive basically. I drove a good chunk of it, and
Oh, dude,
don't
I
have
feel
anything else
that.
to do but think. And one of the biggest gripes that I had that kept coming to my mind was this idea that we have, a particular politics and partisanship that's like super destructive. That I don't feel like sometimes it's articulated enough exactly how, but representatives to Congress are supposed to represent their state and their constituents, and not like
Mhm.
prostrate themselves before president, regardless of which party that president
Absolutely,
belongs
absolutely.
to. And also they're sort of
Maintain
in
the
that.
integrity of your branch of government and the integrity of representing your constituents.
Right, and the party politics that bind them are deleterious to that, because no matter what, they are going to seek to put the perpetuation of the party before the consideration of the constituency, which Mike Johnson
Well,
earlier in this video gives away too. He says everybody knows that my job is basically to make sure that incumbents win in my party. And that's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
exactly your fucking job, but now these days it is. And like when you have this kind of representation of the party as opposed to the constituency, like harmful polycotomies between demographics like that are based on like race and religion and sexuality and geographic delineation,
Mhm.
like rural and urban and things like that, they can't be
Yeah,
overcome because those people aren't actually represented. And
yeah.
it's every once in a while you'll get somebody like you're talking about, like with Bobert, you know, a token or something like that, or maybe they even are a true believer in it, but it is so
Well, and
it's very
they
few and
always
far
have
between.
the ability to allow a certain amount of them to pretend to be conscientious objections, sorts. Your
Mhm.
Susan Collinses and Murkowski's very
Yeah,
often, but there's room to share that load a little bit and let a Bobert take one over here, or what have you. So
yeah, true, true,
it's
absolutely.
very much a party management part on Mike Johnson's part. But it's not, I mean, it's genuinely a difficult job of herding these cats because there's some genuine X factors, I think, that he has to try and manage.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it just becomes more and more dicey and uncertain and unpredictable with every turn of the screw, with the whole Epstein situation. So, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
especially, yeah.
his ever shifting position is just he keeps walking the thinnest line possible.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, and he's trying to thread this needle, and at the same time, uh, again, all these other people are bound to some degree by party politics, so they either have to now basically say, "Oh yeah, Trump was an FBI informant," with zero evidence. Nothing. No, not even there was not even a preview of this from Trump. Trump hasn't even like dropped
yeah,
a little line like I was at, I gave people some
yeah, yeah,
important
yeah, yeah, yeah,
information, or you know what I mean. Didn't do any of this
yeah, yeah.
shit. What it just came out of fucking nowhere.
You
So
never need evidence, but Trump always needs credit. So that's usually why he's in front of shit like that.
and it binds their party into an ever more elaborate lie, an ever more elaborate ruse to maintain. And
It's just like Zuck getting caught on the hot mic and
yeah, yeah.
like being like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know what number I was supposed to go with for you there." Jesus Christ, talk about giving away the game, you fucking dildos.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
these are your tech geniuses working with the government to control your lives for you, right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
them a
Well,
hand.
the encroaching censorship guys again as protection, trying to protect children while
Yeah, yeah.
maintaining this ruse for a fucking what appears to be a pedophile.
Speaking, I'm
Like,
kind of surprised that Bill Gates was in this little current this latest ass kissing festival of Trump with the other tech brains. Like
oh,
I
really?
kind of thought, yeah, I thought publicly he was sort of outside of that, or at least trying to stay outside of it
Yeah.
recently, but I guess
He's
not.
he's above the fray. So when
It seems like
he
he's been trying to stay above the fray. So like showing up and very purposely and publicly kissing Trump's ass is like Jesus. That's a big tell in right about now.
nah, because to do the great work that Bill Gates is trying to do across this world, it means
Mm-hmm.
making
Mm-hmm.
allies with enemies. And that's what we do with enemies. We don't make peace with our friends. We make peace with our enemies, Travis.
No, I don't make peace with Nazis. Fuck that bullshit.
I mean, but like that's totally like that's 100% how he would spin it. Bill Gates has
Yes,
always been
absolutely.
just as much of an opportunist as
100%.
anybody else.
Oh no. He
The
is a
it,
horrible human being. He is a soulless. Like, yeah, I think that you don't get to that position without being a genuine sociopath. Like,
There's even an argument to be made for like some of the good that has been done through his projects
the
in
Gates
Africa.
Foundation has done some amazing shit.
But
Genuinely.
there's some suggestion that the Gates Foundation, um, if they had failed in one of these endeavors, we might be looking at it in a little bit of a different light. Like the Gates Foundation gets to do some of its social good on the backs of like government funding and things like that has like advanced medical technology to such a degree that they can like share that to places, and they don't just do it for free. Like Bill Gates has
Yeah,
enriched himself year over year through the Gates Foundation, through being, I mean,
probably.
he
But I
he,
mean,
he
like,
makes
it's
money hand over
honestly, on the
fist.
other hand, it's more than Elon or
Sure. Yeah.
Bezos or any of these other, like, I that's what blows me away about these guys. How could you have that insane level of money and not just be buying the love of every little town left and right by building this thing here and that thing there, and like
Because
these huge things these things that are huge in these local populations that would cost you nothing virtually. So throwing down 20 to $100 million in some little town for a healthcare center or whatever
Mhm,
is a drop in his bucket of his net
mhm,
worth, a
mhm.
tiny drop. And you could do that all over the fucking place and be looked at as a fucking hero. It's not. Like, I don't get that. That
I think
seems
that
odd to me.
some of that like classic, golden age style of billionaire and Bill Gates, I think that there is an equal narcissism there to the Elon Musks. I think the difference is the expression for like Bill Gates comes through a patriarchal view. He wants to convince people to put their trust in him, and he's right. This is the way to do things, whether it's good or bad for them. That's the way that he works. That's the way he expresses his
No, that's true.
narcissism. Whereas Elon Musk, I think,
I assume.
is part of like celebrity culture. That's where his narcissism is born out of. He wants to be the guy. He wants to be the
Yeah,
coolest
it's what.
dude. He wants to be like he wants to be the kingmaker, the guy that everybody goes
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
whatever. And but he has to do that through like being like the Fonz at the same time without recognizing that like
He's
his
hip.
perception.
He's cool. He's 45.
Exactly, yeah, without recognizing that his perception of that guy already is like dead 20 fucking years ago. Bill Gates's kind of
Yeah,
thing has more staying power because he's trying to be everybody's dad, where Elon Musk wants to
yeah.
be everybody's daddy.
You gross, dude.
I mean, am
Yeah,
I
but
wrong?
you no, but ew. It's like showing somebody a picture of Trump naked. Like, yeah, that's an accurate representation of that, but I don't need to see it with my eyeballs. Fuck off.
Uh-huh. Thanks to South Park, everybody's seen it.
Well, and honestly, kudos to him for that. Like,
Kudos
I
to
will,
him for that.
I will retract my previous statement for that exact scenario.
Mhm. So on the Epstein stuff, the discharge petition that Mike Johnson has been trying to slow the progress of. I don't know how many signers we have on it right now, but again, 218 is their number that they need to force a vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act. And a lot of the opposition, so like our beloved Eric Burleson, for example, um, uh,
Oh, that
oppose.
fucking white supremacist motherfucker.
Well, and just
Man,
honestly, just a total pussy. Just look at this guy. Just
Giant,
fucking
yeah.
Jesus Christ. And the way
I've
he
actually met him.
prostrates
I've been
himself,
in a room with this guy. I've shaken his hand. Yeah.
was it clammy?
I
Reptilian, maybe? uh, so Eric Burleson's problem with the discharge petition rather, is that it's an insult to Donald Trump to do this way when he has designated the DOJ to do their part, and he has led the
mhm.
charge in the
Absolutely.
creation of this oversight committee investigation. To do this discharge petition and force this vote and vote on this bill is an insult to Trump.
Really is, because again, he's been looking out for him more than anybody. Like, yeah, it's insulting to assume that his intentions are not pure on this. And why are you guys forcing this vote? Like, and I love the fact that they're straight out. What is the verbiage they were using to describe Republicans that are still going along with the Epstein, not insurgents, to hostile act.
A
Is that right?
hostile
Are you
act.
saying, yeah,
Um,
a
let me
hostile act against the president or the administration or something, to be on that side of the issue? Sorry, go
I
ahead.
got it here. So, helping Thomas Massey and liberal Democrats with their attention seeking, while the DOJ is fully supporting a more comprehensive file release effort from the Oversight Committee, would be viewed as a very hostile act to the administration.
Yes,
A White
that's the
House
one.
official said. I don't know who the White House official
Just a White
is,
House official. Okay, okay. I gave that
but
a little bit more weight than it deserved, but
I mean, but really, like, what else?
still.
Like, still,
That's them
like,
trying to influence the body politic and the narrative there.
right? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah,
It's an
and
official statement
shamelessly
from
so.
the White House. So, yeah.
And it's an example of what I was talking about before too. Again, Donald Trump and Mike Johnson as well, and also this happens in the Democratic Party too. They get to use the threat of funding challengers to incumbents that are running for reelection that don't want to get primaried by they don't want to get primaried out of their chance to
Mhm.
hold on to their seat. Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and Democratic leaders also, they can force people to bend to party whims by manipulating where the funding goes, who gets the money for
Oh,
reelection or
100%.
for any election, and this is again this
100%. And the last election cycle, Trump did that
mhm,
very, very largely, and actually quite unsuccessfully, honestly. If it was a matter of betting, the gamesmanship, or the game there, it was poorly spent money
mhm,
by and
mhm,
large,
mhm.
and it was
Well, and
more spending money on people that agreed harder with him more than what helped the party and helped their chances legislatively.
well, and in special elections since the start of his second term, they've largely just been getting their asses kicked. I mean, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it, clearly the
Oh,
focus uh, that has been put on even these situations where you only have to target a very narrow demographic with a very narrow messaging against one person for a special election in this one place, which tends to, like, special elections tend to favor Republicans because turnout tends to be considerably lower. They can't win that shit.
typically, yeah.
Then what the fuck are they? Honestly, what the
Yeah.
fuck are they going to do
The
in the midterms?
political
Like, it's no
winds are
surprise
blowing
that
against them so,
yeah.
so hard right now, far more than the media lets on.
Hmm.
Uh, and man, it's really frustrating because like they're really hemorrhaging that political support. They're losing the hearts and minds really bad. But again, the media writ large is so captured, you're not seeing that. You're not feeling the population around you feeling the same way because that's not what even the leftist rags like the New York Times. Man, I was just on the New York Times fucking today looking at the top headlines, and it's like, Jesus Christ, is that just straight from the fucking White House's PR department? And I listen to a lot of NPR, and even NPR Times tends to skew. NPR's always tended to approach the right with kid gloves just to avoid that appearance of bias. If anything, they're too soft on the right and have been for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
taken a marked turn, especially with some anchors in particular. Looking at you, fucking Steve Inskeep. But
I
others,
mean,
not as much. But even NPR is not unaffected by that. But like there's and that makes the dial kind of shift. It has that effect of tamping down what people think because they just don't see it around them. We all should be feeling this way, whether you're in middle America here and it's affecting the fucking price of soybeans and family farms are going under, or whether
mhm,
you're
mhm,
in urban area here and it's the trade policies are drastically cutting down shipping. What like there's a bazillion ways where it's affecting people day to day blue collar people left and right
mhm,
that are
mhm.
right now feeling the pinch of this.
Yeah. I mean,
And so like, why aren't we seeing more of that in the news? Why aren't we feeling that from the population in the media around us? That's where the media should be telling us. Real polling is actually saying this.
mhm,
Like,
mhm.
even polling data is essentially suspect at this point at best.
I think that there's a few things involved with it. One, obviously, like you're saying, just right off the bat, that this is we're talking about media apparatus that has largely already been captured a long time ago. And when you're talking about like NPR,
Sure.
the banging the drum about defunding NPR is a decades old project. I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
before I could vote, they were talking about it
100%.
because of how NPR covered the fucking Brooks Brothers riot in 2000.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
like
The
so
Heritage Foundation and other groups have had it in their sights for a while,
yeah.
for that reason and others. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. And I was talking about this with a coworker, uh, and it's really more largely that, and kind of symbolically even that, like this is one of the very last vestiges of our actual ownership as a society of this thing. Like
Mhm,
we've
mhm,
always literally owned the actual airwaves.
mhm,
Everything is broadcast on. It's considered something that's owned municipally by all of us as a country. And the same with our national parks and whatnot. Yeah, there's sometimes payments involved, but and it's owned by all of us, and yeah, etc. And like letting the ownership class, letting the robber barons, oligarchs, whatever you want to call them, claw away one of those last little bits of things that should be inherently neutral because it belongs to all of us.
mhm,
It's one of those last firewalls that prevents
mhm,
things like fascism or just those sort of things from infecting us as a country. It's supposed to
mhm,
have that sort of effect. I don't
mhm.
know. It strikes me as just deeply, deeply troubling and saddening,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, yes, I agree, though not for the specific loss of NPR, the loss of that kind of that like you're talking about the airwaves of being a public commons essentially, and it's another one that is torn away from us.
Especially being that it's a
Um,
thing about that's inherently communications. Like,
Yeah.
being able to communicate freely across our society should be baked into the cake. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that should be something that is inherently within all of our rights.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I would go so
Absolutely.
far as to classify that as a human right if you're living in modern society,
Well,
having free
in the
access to
era
communication.
of seeing the radio waves captured in a lot of ways, and television
100%.
obviously captured completely. The early internet was supposed to be the next opportunity for ensuring that kind of a dissemination of information, of opinion, the collection of that
Yeah.
kind of useful information, and
And
of
just too
of
big to
meaningful
control
anonymity.
and monopolize. Like,
Mhm.
it's unmonopolizable
Mhm.
for those
Turns
reasons,
out
but
turns out
it's very
maybe not a,
monopolizable. Yeah.
yeah, as long as the means of access are
Yep. You
streamlined and
monopolize the
sold to
portals.
people, that yeah, then you can,
Monopolize the
yeah,
portals of access, and
yeah,
that's the game.
exactly. You can curate everything else from there.
Yep.
Damn. I think